History of football.
3, 2, 1.
Hi dear, how are you?
I am fine. What's about you?
Good. What's going on?
I am thinking about the football history. Do you know something about it?
Yes, I know, dear. What do you want to know?
That's great. I also learned about it. Tell me, how was the football started?
Football has a long history. Football in its current form arose in England in the middle of the 19th century. But alternative versions of the game existed much earlier and are a part of the football history.
Okay, tell me early history and the precursors.
The first known example of a team game involving a ball, which was made out of a rock, occurred in old Mesoamerican cultures for over 3,000 years ago. It was by the Aztecs called Chatali, although various versions of the game were spread over large regions.
Oh yes, I know. I have read that, in some ritual occasions, the ball would symbolize the sun and the captain of the losing team would be sacrificed to the gods. A unique feature of the Mesoamerican ball game versions was a bouncing ball, made of rubber. No other early culture had access to rubber.
Yes, dear, it's right. Do you know that the first known ball game, which also involved kicking, took place in China in the 3rd and 2nd century BC under the name cudgel. Cudgel was played with a round ball on an area of a square.
Wow, you know a lot.
Thanks.
But how the game of football takes its form?
Yeah, I am coming there, dear. The most admitted story tells that the game was developed in England in the 12th century. In this century, games that resembled football were played on meadows and roads in England.
I listened that besides from kicks, the game involved also punches of the ball with the fist.
Yes, that's right. This early form of football was also much more rough and violent than the modern way of playing.
And then football-like games were returned to the streets of London in the 17th century.
It would be forbidden again in 1835, but at this stage the game had been established in the public schools. Now it's your turn. Let me check your knowledge.
Yes, sure, please ask me.
Tell me when and how the football rules were settled.
An attempt to create proper rules for the game was done at a meeting in Cambridge in 1848, but a final solution to all questions of rules was not achieved. Another important event in the history of football came about in 1863 in London, when the first football association was formed in England. It was decided that carrying the ball with the hands wasn't allowed. The meeting also resulted in a standardization of the size and weight of the ball. A consequence of the London meeting was that the game was divided into 2 codes: association football and rugby.
Wow, awesome.
Now, you tell me about the first football club.
Thought's hard one. Football clubs have existed since 15th century, but unorganized and without official status. It is, therefore, hard to decide which the first football club was. But some historians suggest that it was the football club formed 1824 in Edinburgh. Early clubs were often formed by former school students, and the first of this kind was formed in Sheffield in 1855. The oldest among professional football clubs is the English club Notts County, that was formed in 1862 and still exists today.
What's about women in the football?
Women were for a long time excluded from participating in games. It was not before the late 19th century that women started to play football. The first official women's game took place in Inverness in 1888.
I want to add something about the first ever competition.
Yes, please.
Football Association Challenge Cup became the first important competition in 1871. The following year, a match between 2 national teams was played for the first time. The match, that involved England and Scotland, ended at 0-0 and was followed by 4,000 people at Hamilton Crescent. 12 years later, in 1883, the first international tournament took place and included 4 national teams: England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales.
I am going to end it with FIFA.
Oh, please.
FIFA was founded in 1904 in a foundation Act was signed by representatives from France, Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands, Spain, Sweden and Switzerland. England and the other British countries did not join FIFA from the start. They had invented the game and saw no reason to subordinate it to an association. Still, they joined in the following year, but would not partake in the World Cup until 1950.
Thank you for this great meeting.
You are welcome, dear. Bye.
Bye.